Alright, are we live? Is this gonna work? Yes. Alright, looks like we're live. What's going on, guys? I'm back. As promised, I'm back with, week 1 projections for every team in my fantasy football league. I'm gonna be going through, each and every team, and, in my opinion, picking out which players each team should start if they want to get the best possible lineup. I'm going to lower this volume real quick. There, that should be better for you guys. Anyhow, I'm going to go through each team and pick the best possible lineup and go through the moves that were made in the league as well, or transactions perhaps. Alright, so if we go to league home, first we go through our moves, player moves, see for recent activity. Where are we? Alright, so after the draft, um, same day, maybe like an hour, like 50 minutes after the draft hour, um, Caden dropped Debo Samuel, who is, in my opinion, one of the best wide receivers available. Um, and then Sanjay dropped Carson Wentz and added Josh Allen. Solid move. Upon seeing that Caden dropped Debo Samuel, I didn't notice for a few days, but as soon as I noticed, I dropped Latavius Murray, who I picked as Alvin Kamara's backup, and picked up Debo Samuel. I'll show you guys why later. Um, and then Sanjay dropped Cam Akers and picked up the Philly defense. Right, yeah. And then added Latavius Murray and dropped J.K. Dobbins. I added Antonio Gibson and dropped Matthew Stafford. I'll tell you guys why later as well. Um, Caden dropped DeAndre Swift, added Derek Carr. And I dropped Jared Cook and added Chris Herndon. So, first things first, my team, trade talks. What's going on? Alright, here's what's happening on my team. I still have like my starters set up, and that hasn't really changed. My bench, however, has changed for a few reasons. My main bench players are still here. Jake Elliott's still here, but these guys are different. I'm higher on Chris Herndon than I was on Jared Cook. I looked at some statistics, and the Saints aren't really a pass to the tight end kind of team. They'll pass to him eventually, like a little bit, but Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, and Drew Brees are the only players worth having from the Saints. And based on that, I already have Alvin Kamara. I don't need Jared Cook. I have a solid tight end. I just need like basically a lottery pick at this point is what Chris Herndon is. So basically, what analysts are saying is, Sam Darnold is a young quarterback, and because he's a young quarterback, he's going to be dishing the ball off a lot, and the Jets' offensive line isn't that great. So that just adds to Herndon's targets, basically. So assuming he can catch the ball and play and stay healthy, Herndon is one of my top picks for this season. Now, obviously, I'm not going to start him because I have Zach Ertz and I'm high on him against the Washington defense, but I have him on my roster in case he blows up. Right. Next, Antonio Gibson for Matthew Stafford. This is going off of trade talks. I talked to Brock a few days ago, and I offered this trade to him. Originally, he wanted Alvin Kamara, and he was going to give me like Aaron Jones or something, but that's just not worth it in my opinion. He really needs running back depth. I'll go into that later, but this is a fair trade, by all means, especially for Brock. It'll help him a lot because he has a lot of depth at quarterback as well. That's just straight up unnecessary, honestly. Um, right. So, my starts and sits. My team. Matt Ryan, he's the only quarterback I have, so I have to start him right now. Saquon and Alvin Kamara, two of the top 10 running backs in the entire NFL. Of course, I'm going to start them. Adam Thielen and Juju, along with Allen Robinson and Cooper Kupp. This was a decision that I had to make. It was a pretty tough decision, but what I noticed was Juju's production is pretty just average. Like, if you look at this, like, he has a pretty volatile curve, meaning he's probably going to score around 15 points, and I can count on him to score said 15 points. So I'm not worried about Juju. Juju's a safe option compared to these other guys. And then Adam Thielen is kind of my lottery pick. No, I don't want to share anything. Right, so his curve is a little flatter towards the boom side, so there's a small probability that it'll bust. But after looking at these two, actually, I might just start Chris Godwin or Allen Robinson. Oh, at the same time, Allen Robinson has Mitchell Trubisky as their um, huh. Actually, I might start Allen Robinson. I take that back because he has a pretty higher curve and he's pretty safe option. So yeah, I'm gonna start Allen Robinson for now over Adam Thielen unless I change my mind. I'll let you guys know at the end of the stream. By then, I'll have made my decision. No, I just want to see Cooper Kupp's profile. Blah blah blah. Right, his curve. Again, it's not very flat, so he's like a really, really safe option. Only reason I don't like him is because he's not going to score as much as Juju, I think. He might though. He might. No, I'm gonna go with Juju because I like boom player. Like he's a lottery pick. That's what I need from wide receivers right now. I don't need average wide receivers. That's not gonna help me. I need wide receivers who can be really productive because my running backs are already pretty productive, but if I can get either one of these wide receivers, if even one of them blows up, I'm set. So I'm gonna go with more volatile wide receivers for now. Zach Ertz, I mean, he's Zach Ertz. I don't know what to tell you guys. He's in a committee, which kind of sucks. But if he gets injured, I can always put him on one of the three IR spots and pick up his counterpart, Dallas Goedert. And that'll be a solid pickup for me if or when Zach Ertz gets injured. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he is one of the top running backs in the league as of now. He's a rookie playing for the Chiefs. I don't know how much the Chiefs are going to run, but assuming the Chiefs run a decent bit, CEH is going to be a solid pick. Definitely worth the third round pick no matter what. But I really like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Ravens defense against the Cleveland offense. It's a defense. I mean, as long as they're not losing you points, defenses don't really matter. There's going to be like one unpredictable defense every year, and I don't know. This year, I'm hoping it's the Ravens. It's either going to be the Ravens or Steelers, in my opinion. Those are my top two picks for that, but I couldn't get the Steelers, so I got Ravens instead. Right. Greg Zuerlein over Jake Elliott. It's simply the offense matchups, as well as the overall kicking strength and previous statistics. So that's what that's based off of. All right, Michael. Here is some controversy. People are gonna yell at me after I say this. Dak Prescott. Who's his other options? Kyler Murray against San Fran. Jimmy against Arizona. Dak against Rams. I'm gonna go with Dak above all these three because the Rams secondary kind of sucks. I mean, they have Jalen Ramsey, but they don't really have a number two cornerback. And to beat the Cowboys this year, you're gonna have to have three cornerbacks plus a solid linebacking core. The only defenses that have that right now are the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Browns. And I don't think they play any of them. So Cowboys are a solid pick this year. Only problem is you never know where Dak Prescott is going to throw or hand off. So that's the only problem with Dak. Dak is good. The people playing around Dak, not so good. All right, Nick Chubb, solid rushing option. Only reason to play Chubb here is because you don't have anyone else to play. I mean, you could play Le'Veon Bell, but he's sharing carries with Frank Gore, so I don't know about that. Aaron Jones, workhorse back, he's going to play well, solid pick. Michael Thomas, again, workhorse, going to play well, going to at least score 20. AJ Green, here's where the controversy starts. Start Christian Kirk over AJ Green. My opinion, personally. Because Christian Kirk, A, has a much better quarterback, much more proven quarterback. And on top of that, AJ Green is right now Joe Burrow's number 2 receiver. He's not the number 1 like people think. He's the number 2. Tyler Boyd is actually the number 1. So pick up Boyd, not Green. Green simply isn't worth it. He's injury prone. Like if you see here, even a lot of people aren't starting him either, but it's simply not worth having Green starting at least. Maybe if he blows up later, but as of now, definitely don't start Green. Gronk, I can see why you don't really have a better tight end, and he's a solid pick. He and Brady have a lot of good chemistry, and he's a good dish option for Brady. Todd Gurley, again, kind of controversial. They're playing Seattle, which has a solid secondary, so Atlanta's going to have to run a good bit too, but they also have solid wide receivers and quarterbacks, so depending on whether or not Todd Gurley is actually fully healed, he's going to either make a splash or completely bust. Patriots defense against Miami. They're going to do solid, mainly because Miami sucks. Young Hoku, same thing. He's a kicker. He's going to score points. That's about that. Next player. Sanjay. All right. He has Josh Allen as quarterback. He's probably going to log on and start him. He hasn't been on for a few days, so he'll come and do that. Don't worry about that. Elliott and Dalvin Cook, definitely start both of them, at least 20 points each. Solid picks. Devontae Adams, Kenny Golladay. Devontae Adams, definitely start. He's a solid first-round pick. I think he got him in the 3rd round, maybe. So definitely start Devontae Adams against Minnesota. It's a solid pick. Kenny Golladay against Chicago. Based on what I'm seeing, who do I like? Tyler Boyd. I'd start Tyler Boyd over Kenny Golladay. It's a pretty controversial decision, but hear me out here. Tyler Boyd is the number 1 receiver as of now. And he has a solid quarterback. Joe Burrow likes him a lot. I think if Joe Burrow can make a splash, Tyler Boyd is going to score 20 points this week. That's my bold prediction for the week. Tyler Boyd can, if he wants to, start Tyler Boyd. Dylan, defense for week 1. Lions versus Bears, Chargers versus Bengals, or Chiefs versus Texans. Definitely not Chiefs or Texans, simply because, as far as I know, that game is going to be a shootout. No matter what happens, both of those defenses have a high probability of scoring negative points, so neither of those defenses. Lions versus Bears. I like Lions over the Bears, simply because the Bears' offense, Mitchell Trubisky, is very volatile. He's either going to boom or bust. My pick is going to the Lions simply because they have a less volatile quarterback. So I don't know if I'm getting this right, but I'm going to go Lions there. Chargers versus Bengals. I'm going to have to go with probably Chargers, simply because, again, they have more experience on their side, and the Bengals have a rookie quarterback who may be prone to make mistakes on his official NFL debut. Because you need to remember, there haven't even been, what are they called? There haven't been any preseason games this year. So taking that into account, I'd say Chargers. If you're asking which defense out of those 6 you should start, I'd say definitely go Lions or Chargers. Yeah. It's your call in the end. Both of them are equal, I think. Don't stress out about it too much. Focus more on your running backs and wide receivers, mainly because, like, defenses, yeah, they can score you 20 points, but it's a low probability of that actually happening. So I mean, pick one. My gut feeling is going towards Lions, though, because it's proven that Mitchell Trubisky isn't a great quarterback. We don't know about Joe Burrow. He could be an insane quarterback. He could be the next Patrick Mahomes for all we know, so go Lions, in my opinion. Alright, Kenny Golladay. As I said, I'm taking Tyler Boyd over Kenny Golladay. Noah Fant. I mean, only tight end that they have, so go for that. Miles Sanders, that's a really strong flex option, and I know Sanjay auto drafted, so that's why they have such strong core players. Colts defense against Jacksonville, I like it. I mean, they have Minshew. I don't know how well Minshew's gonna play this year. He kind of boomed last year, but I don't know what he's gonna do this year. Robbie Gould, again, he's a kicker. Doesn't really matter. Alright, Caden. He's the guy who dropped Deebo Samuel. Russell Wilson, good. Josh Jacobs, good. Raheem Mostert, good. He's projected to be the number 9 rusher in all of the NFL right now, so that's a good sleeper option, in my opinion. If you want to go for a safer option, I would go with probably David Montgomery. You're starting Lamar, Zeke, James Conner, Tyree Golladay, Evan Ingram. Don't know at flex. If you want to put your flex options in the chat, I can help you with that. But I mean, yeah, this is a solid thing. Only thing I might change is Brandon Cooks over Keenan Allen, actually, because Keenan Allen has DK Metcalf. Okay, yeah, that's a solid team then. If you have Tyler Lockett, you probably don't because you're starting DK, but if you have Tyler Lockett, definitely play Tyler Lockett over DK, but other than that, that's a great lineup. I have no clue how you got such a good lineup at out of a draft. Depending on who you drafted and where you drafted, of course, but still, that's a solid team. Yeah, that's all for Sanjay or Caden, I think. Right, Ethan. This is one of the weaker teams, in my opinion. Lamar Jackson, cool. Derrick Henry, average. Austin Eckler, average. Mike Evans, he'll do good. Amari Cooper, again. Dallas receivers, don't go in that direction. You never know where Dak Prescott is going to throw. But because he doesn't have any other solid receivers, it's fine, I guess. Darren Waller, best he's got. Jarvis Landry, solid pick. Hang on. Hold up. Yeah, no, he's playing the best. Oh, okay. Rams defense against Dallas. I don't know. I feel like Rams is going to be one of the few teams that gets negatives this week. Tucker, again, he's a kicker, whatever. Max. Hey, 3 viewers, that's like a high now. Alright, Deshaun Watson. Cool. Matt Breida. I like a little bit. I don't know if he's a feature back, though, which might be a problem later on. The problem with Max's team is he doesn't have any good running backs. 10, half PPR, drafted 4th, got Hunt, Edelman, Jordan Howard, Ruggs, Robbie Anderson, Joe Burrow, and Tony Pollard and insurance. That's a good team. I'm surprised you managed that. That's a great team, buddy. Let's see. Yeah, he's weak on running backs, but other than that, I don't know what else he can do. I mean, I think that's why he picked up Latavius Murray. He's just hoping Kamara gets injured at this point. Brock. So if you see Brock's roster, he's got Mahomes, Mixon, Carson. Like, this is why he needs a better running back. He doesn't have running back depth is his problem. DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs, George Kittle, Robert Woods. 49ers D against Arizona. I like this a little bit. I'm not too high on it, though, so don't quote me on that. Chris Boswell, he's a solid kicker, I guess. So the thing about Brock's team is he has a little bit of depth at running back, but he doesn't have strong running backs. He does, however, have a really good quarterbacks. So he's got Drew Brees, Big Ben, and Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, he's not trading Patrick Mahomes or Drew Brees because they're like insanely good quarterbacks and they're playing in their offense for a while. Big Ben, however, is injury prone and very volatile. I think, personally, that Big Ben has a shot this year because this is one of the last years he's going to play. It's make or break this year for the Steelers. So they're going to go big, and based on that, I think Big Ben has a solid shot at being a top 10 quarterback this year. He's at least going to be a top 10 for me this year. Tevin Coleman, solid. Hayden Hurst, solid. I don't know what I would change about this, honestly. I mean, yeah, it's a solid team overall, and he's definitely starting the best players. And then Kenny, this is the strongest team in my opinion, other than mine. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is injury prone. That's the only problem with him. Other than that, I think he'll do great. Christian McCaffrey, he gets hit a lot. He might get concussed. All right. Kenyon Drake. I'm not too sure about Kenyon Drake. He's gonna do good. I'm not too sure if he's gonna be a feature back this year though. Julio Jones, definitely a feature number one wide receiver. Definitely go with him. Chris Godwin, again, great. I almost got Julio Jones and then traded Julio Jones for Michael Thomas, actually. That almost happened. I'll walk you guys through that later as well. Mark Andrews, solid tight end. I don't know how he'll do this year. I'd say he's going to be a top 5 tight end, though. Leonard Fournette's going to do good. Bills is going to do good. Against Jets, definitely. Will Lutz going to do good. Tom Brady. I'm also high on Tom Brady this year because they've got an insane offense. They've got really good receivers. They have really good running back. Let me just walk you through the Tampa Bay offense real quick. They've got Tom Brady at helm. Just keep that in mind. They've got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin as their primary receivers. And then they've also got Gronk, who's basically an extra lineman / receiver. So every play, they have at least 3 guys going out for routes, including OJ Howard, right? And they have a running back, one of the best running backs in the league in the backfield, in Leonard Fournette. So the defense never knows whether they're going to run or pass. If the defense drops back into a zone coverage, they can easily call an audible at the line of scrimmage and run the ball. If the defense closes in to stack the box, they can just as easily pass the ball. I feel like this team is going to be a fast-paced offense this year. They're going to look very experienced. They don't have many new guys on the field, no rookies, really. Tampa Bay is a force to be reckoned with this year. I know I'm just adding to the bandwagon, but oh my goodness, you guys have no clue. Devontae Parker on my bench for week 1 just came off of injury and facing Gilmore. Antonio Gibson, I would go with that. I would definitely go with Antonio Gibson. Because he's facing Stephon Gilmore, who is by far the best man coverage guy in the NFL. Gibson is the next Christian McCaffrey. He's not going to be on the level of Christian McCaffrey, maybe on the level of Kenyon Drake. Antonio Gibson is my sleeper pick this year. Like, I also picked up Gibson, so definitely do that. I mean, I don't feel... Personally, there's no debate there for me. Just because he's facing Gilmore, and that's an insane thing for him. Only reason I'm not starting Gibson is because I've got CEH and I'm high on him. Honestly, I might even start Connor if this trade doesn't go through by tomorrow. This trade doesn't go through by tomorrow morning. Right, yeah. So tomorrow morning I'll check in. This trade doesn't go through. Oh yeah, he's definitely going to get more work. Because they have 2 rookie running backs, and they dropped Leonard Fournette and Adrian Peterson, so I really like Antonio Gibson. He's one of my top sleeper picks. Deebo Samuel. I dropped Latavius Murray for this guy, and I'm going to show you guys why. Where's his projections for this season? Not here. Here it is. Alright, just take a look. Beginning half of the season, he was injury prone. Sometimes he was playing, sometimes he wasn't. The days he was healthy and he was playing, look at it, 20 points, 13 points, 19, 21, 13, 14, 15, 15, 24. He is one of the best receivers in the NFL, and he got dropped. He's not going to play this week, but starting next week, assuming he plays, this man is a force to be reckoned with. And he was dropped. I don't know why he was dropped, but he was dropped. Like, is he a little volatile? Yeah. Later on in the season, can we start him? Absolutely. He's going to be a solid pick later on in the season, especially since I only have average wide receivers. In my opinion, Deebo Samuel is a really good wide receiver one. Alright, and then after that, what did I want to do? I wanted to do something. Where's undroppables? Draft, scoring, no, nothing here. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. Undroppables, waiver report, waiver order projections, player news. Yeah, I think that's it. Is that all I wanted to cover? Doesn't Deebo Samuel has his, like, game projections? No, not this. He had his projections somewhere. There were, like, projections for Deebo Samuel. Not here. Not here. How many weeks do I give Fournette before he becomes the main guy? Honestly, I don't know if he will be the main guy. I think they're not a main running team is the problem with Tampa Bay. Because they've got Fournette, they've got Mike Evans, and they've got Chris Godwin. I don't know when you tuned in. I already went through this, and they have Tom Brady as well. So half the plays they're maybe running, half the plays they're maybe passing. You never know what they're going to do each game based on the defense I would choose. I don't think Fournette is a viable starting option. Maybe as a flex take him, but as a starting running back week to week, probably not. If he becomes starting guy, I think we'll know by week 6. We're going to know by week 6 whether or not he's going to be the starting running back for the rest of the season. That much I'm pretty sure about. Alright, what else? How do I check player projections? There's a thing you can do where you can check a player's projections for the entire season, like every game. Yeah, I don't know. There's a thing that you can do to look at projections, though. Oh, there's just no Outlook available. Great, just what I wanted. Yeah, but if you look at his projections, there's a way to do it. I don't know how. Is it in stats? It is not indeed in stats. Right, so there's a way to look at projections, and when I find out how to do that, I'll figure it out and show you guys. But essentially, Deebo Samuel's projections are looking like 18 points a game, give or take. So that's going to be really big for players who took Deebo Samuel in later rounds or picked him up over waivers like I did. So I think he has tremendous upside. He might be a little slow getting started, but that's why I have these 4 guys carrying me through until then. And another thing to remember, I currently have the highest projections in my entire league. If we go to matchup, I think, right? Yeah, I'll just show you guys real quick. Sanjay currently has a matchup of 117 to 135. He's gonna play his quarterback, who has a 23 projection though, but I mean, okay, 4 points, big difference, but As of now, I have the highest thing. I'm kind of hoping that he doesn't log on. Brock, oh, he also has a flat 135. At the same time, though, I'm not too high on Joe Mixon performing because he hasn't been able to perform in the past. Ethan, same thing. I don't know. Honestly, I should probably be making picks right now. My pick for this game, my team, simply because I have more running back power. I simply don't think Ezekiel Elliott and Dalvin Cook are going to score 20 points apiece, and I don't think Davante Adams is going to do that either. What is a good available tight end to get? Chris Herndon, my man. If you're in a deeper league, take Chris Herndon. Where is he? This guy, right here. He is one of the better upside, like, tight ends with good upside this year. If he stays healthy, he's going to be really good. And if you're talking about waivers, this is the guy to go to because very few shallow leagues have him, and some deep leagues still have him available. Let me go to tight ends then. This is an 8-team league, so some tight ends are probably going to be taken. Like, let's just assume that tight ends up till here are taken, right? Let's see. Tyler Eifert, he might be a good option. OJ Howard's going to be a good option if Gronk gets injured. Ebron's going to be good. Jared Cook is good. Hawkinson's pretty good. Doyle's pretty good. Wilson, I'm not sure about. Yeah, just Tyler Eifert, I think. I mean, if Herndon's taken in your league, like, how many people are in your league? If you can tell me that, I might be able to help you out. You have Austin Hooper right now? Then you're set. 12 people and you have Austin Hooper, man, you're set. Who's Hooper's backup? David Njoku, right? Depending on how deep your guys' rosters are, see if you can pick up David Njoku in case Austin Hooper gets injured. But other than that, Austin Hooper's like really good. Because if you remember, Njoku was a solid tight end last year. And if you're not going to get a top tight end, Austin Hooper's as good as it's going to get. 70 plus receptions last year. Start over Jones in week 3. I'd love to see how Brady uses him. Yeah, me too. Only problem is Brady has a lot of weapons to use. And Ronald Jones and Fournette, personally, yeah, he might start. I don't think. I think it's going to be a committee, personally. In any case, Fournette's going to be the main receiving back if he's going to be a receiver. So again, if you want, yeah, it's definitely going to be spread, which is the problem with Tampa Bay. Overall, though, Brady's the top Tampa player to get. What else? Right, I was making picks. This is the wrong week. Back to my team. My team. Right, Michael, I'm not okay, what do you want for Alvin Kamara, Michael? What do you want for Alvin Kamara? Or rather, what are you giving me? Right now you have the Saints. Depending on what defenses are available, my top defenses this year are Pittsburgh, Seattle, Ravens, and Jacksonville's pretty good. Who else? If you have the Saints right now, Saints aren't bad defense because they tend to hold the ball a long time. Broncos defense, I'm not sure about Broncos defense because I don't know if you guys heard yet. Von Miller is out for the season. No, I don't want Aaron Jones and Kyler Murray for Alvin Kamara, Michael. Let me show you guys why I don't want that. There's this man called Big Ben that I can get for just James Conner. Ben Roethlisberger for James Conner, much better than Alvin Kamara for Aaron Jones and Kyler Murray. Mainly because I have enough running back depth. I don't need more depth at running back. And I don't need Kyler Murray either because I'm getting better quarterback. I'll just stream if I have to. I really like Big Ben, Michael. Leave me alone. I have my picks, you have yours. I tried to get the Colts earlier, but they got taken today. That's rough. That is very rough indeed because the Colts have a solid secondary. I'm just gonna show you guys all the defenses and go through and tell you guys which ones I like because that's probably more. Alright, 49ers. I like them because they have a solid D-line. They're gonna get a lot of sacks and maybe a few interceptions because of Richard Sherman. They're definitely gonna put pressure on opponents. Steelers. Really good linebacking core, really good secondary. Bills. Same thing. Ravens. Same thing. Pats. Only problem with the Patriots is their linebacking core. None of their linebackers are back. They're all new linebackers in the Patriots. Colts solid defense. I don't know that they're just a decent defense overall. Bears. They have a good front line, front seven. Vikings again, they have a decent team. Broncos just lost Von Miller. At this point, I'd be dropping them or trading them if you can. Saints solid. Against Tampa Bay, that's going to be a rough matchup though. Don't take the Chiefs because they're going to be in shootout games constantly. Seahawks, same thing. Titans defense is decent. I mean, I don't know if you have the Saints for now. Try to find a defense to stream based on matchup. But other than that, I'd say roll with the Saints for now. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. All right. I need to get back to making picks. I'm gonna make my picks and then I'm gonna address the chat. All right. And then Brock against Ethan. This is gonna be a toss-up, honestly, because these two guys are just about equal. It says there's a 3-point difference. I don't know. Robert Woods, Jarvis Landry. I like Woods. This game's a 50-50, and either one could win. If I'm going on a limb and saying something, I'm gonna have to go with Brock simply because Ethan's starting Amari Cooper, and I don't think Amari Cooper is gonna score 13. Michael and Caden. I'm taking Caden because Michael's starting AJ Green. Mo Meyer and Max. Again, this one's kind of a toss-up. I think I like Max, though, because he has Tyler Lockett. I think nah, he's not going to outperform 15. A 15 per... Who's going to outperform? Breida's going to do less. He's going to do bad, Breida. Steelers are going to do better, but that doesn't really matter. Yeah, honestly, this game I think is going to Kenny. Just because of his core players are better. Like, these players are the players that matter the most. Everything else is kind of like, if you have a good one, you have a good one, but otherwise, it's fine. But that's cool. Alright, back to chat. Should I trade Joe Burrow for a better defense or tight end? Definitely not worth it. Quarterbacks are worth more than a tight end. If you get an offer for Joe Burrow that includes a tight end, look into it a little bit more, study the tight end a little bit more. Definitely like tell the guy that's trying to trade you, hey, I'm gonna look at this for 1 week. Study the tight end. The main thing about tight ends is if they're getting targets, they're good options. Thing about tight ends is they don't get a ton of targets. If a tight end gets a target, he's more than likely going to catch it. So, take a tight end if he's getting targets. So watch the tight end that week, see if he's getting targets, and if he's getting targets, then you can go after a tight end. is my personal opinion. Right. I got some trade offers. One of my trade offers, I tried to trade for Julio so I could trade Julio to Michael for Michael Thomas, and I was gonna give him like some compensation, like Terry McLaurin or something like that as well. But I was gonna try to do that, but Kenny didn't want to trade anything, so that he wanted like Alvin Kamara and Saquon, something insane. It's definitely not worth Michael Thomas. So that's a no. I tried to trade Alvin Kamara and someone else. I don't remember who exactly. It might have been like Cooper Kupp or Adam Thielen or something like that for Michael Thomas. But again, Michael's being stubborn and really wants Julio. And I can also understand why he won't take that trade because that would be a downgrade for him at wide receiver. At the same time, he'd be getting a substantial upgrade at running back. So I don't know. That's a little bit of a I don't know. It's like a risk for him. I guess he wants wide receiver more than running back, and I can see why because Michael Thomas is by far the best fantasy wide receiver in the game. Whew, tiring me out. Okay. What else? Right. I wanted Big Ben from Brock. I asked him what he wanted. He wanted Alvin Kamara. Definitely not Brock. Thanks for trying. So instead of going into like trade talks and whatever, I offered James Conner for Big Ben. He's looking into it now. I'm gonna let him know that the deadline is tomorrow morning. If he picks it up, great. If he doesn't, oh well. Um, Other than that, I think I'm good. Um, I don't know what else to tell you guys. Should you get rid of Singletary? Absolutely not. Singletary is a solid option because you don't know. Okay, the thing is, Buffalo offense ran a good bit last year, and Singletary is now a lead back, and there's no Frank Gore to steal carries from him. So Singletary is getting 80% of the carries now instead of 60 or 40. So his carries are doubled. He's going to be a workhorse back. He's a big body, so they're going to use him at the goal line a lot as well. So again, it's your call in the end, but I would keep Singletary, especially if it's a 12-man league and your roster looks anything like mine. Definitely keep Singletary. Fumbling issues and Zach Moss. Fumbling issues, he probably worked on that during the off season. And again, that might not matter that much, especially in a 12-team league. Um, it also depends on whether or not you know the people you're playing with. If it's like a random ESPN league online, people are going to be a lot more like they don't want to trade as much because like strangers or whatever. Um, Fumbling issues, so keep him because again, 12-team leagues aren't very deep, and running backs, as you can see, very scarce this year. I don't know what your other running back situations looks like, but based on what I'm hearing, definitely keep him, even though fumbling or whatever. Zach Moss, I don't think he's going to be that much of an issue. I think he's going to get 20% of the carries. He's going to be a good running back. Next year is Zach Moss's year. They're going to be in a committee next year, is my projection. Again, half the time I'm wrong. Just because, again, this is just a prediction. You never know what's going to happen in game. Singletary could fumble it. Singletary could not fumble it. Based on matchups, play Singletary. Otherwise, keep him as a backup. Because if someone else gets Singletary and you find out his fumbling problems are solved, well, that's a problem. So hold on to Singletary for now, just because it's a very deep league. Or sorry, yeah, it's a deeper league. So waivers are going to be scarce to get. People are going to pick up Singletary immediately. So hold on to Singletary. Maybe try to trade him. Try to get a better bench by trading him out. But other than that, Josh Jacobs, Dalvin Cook, and Sony Michel. Um, did you say you have Okay, if those are your only okay, if those are your only running backs, I would say Yeah, hold on to Singletary. Because if what I'm hearing is correct, you're in a two running back, one flex, two wide receiver league, right? And assuming that's correct, then there are going to be some weeks where you're going to want to start three running backs, and if you don't have that third running back available, like having four running backs is worth it. Trust me on that, especially if it's during COVID. Like you never know what's going to happen. I'd say keep Singletary. Depending on who's available on waivers, though, adding him or dropping him is also an option. All right. I think that's all I wanted to cover for today. So, if you guys have any more questions, I'm going to hang out for like 2 more minutes. So at 6:05, I'm going to head out. But if you guys have any more questions, now is a good time to ask. I think this was one of my better streams, actually. Singletary and Joe Burrow for Derrick Henry. Um, yes. Yes. I mean, Joe Burrow, I don't think he's going to be that great. Singletary, again, I don't think he's going to be that great. They're both, that's a running back two and and a QB two at most. And you're trading that for one of the top 10 running backs. Definitely take that just because Derrick Henry is a really good pick because he's going to be running at least 20 times a game, period. And he's also a receiving back. Like the entire offense is based around him. So Derrick Henry is definitely a good pick. All right, that should be it then. Um, other than this, I'm surprised I got this many viewers on just my second fantasy football stream. I think I had like four people at a point. I had four people at a point. That's insane. Um, yeah, this was a good stream for me. As always, thanks for coming out, guys. I really enjoyed it. Maybe my Wi-Fi will be better in the future, so there will be less playbacks, but that's also based on uh what's this called? Um there wasn't a lot of footage to take, so YouTube was kind of like there was nothing on the screen moving. What should I do? So just because of that, there's a few playbacks as well, but honestly, for 50 minutes, 12 playbacks, not bad. Maybe it'll be better in the future, but thanks for coming out, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, take care.